The Maserati Levante has been in the market for quite some time as its premium SUV, and to be honest, when we tested it back in May 2017, we weren't quite impressed with the turbo diesel it was available with. Now it has a turbocharged 3-litre V6 that slots in just beneath the Levante S with 257 kilowatts. So under the bonnet we've got a twin-turbo 3-litre V6. It's the same one they use in the Ghibli and the Quattroporte. It's connected to an 8-speed ZF transmission that sends power to all 4 wheels. It is variable, so most of the time if you're in sport mode it sends it to the rear 100%. If you're using off-road, it'll split it 50-50. The Maserati's interior overall, next to its competitors, it isn't as bold and stylish. It's probably a bit more conservative, which is alright for the consumer that likes that. And there's really nice details here and there, such as the rotary switches that have a nice bit of an aluminium finish, the brushed aluminium finishes on the side, the clock on the dashboard. But unfortunately overall the interior is let down by these plastic switches that flex and they just don't feel that great. Another thing that doesn't work well with the car is the touchscreen infotainment. It's improved from the last one, but it does feel a bit outdated still. The controls are all over the show. Everything's the same color, so it's a bit hard to find what you're looking for. And the feedback on the other hand is very nice. It's easy to use. It's very smooth to operate, but from an aesthetic point of view, it's probably not going to please you that much. That's it with the interior. The main thing we want to find out with this car, of course, is how the engine operates with this platform. So let's take it for a drive. So immediately with the V6 petrol you can tell it's just a much better fit than that turbo diesel. It's a lot more responsive, it works better with the ZF, and I mean it's a Maserati. You can't have a Maserati with a turbo diesel. That's kind of something that we touched on when we tested this car in May 2017 issue. And driving it now with this engine, it gives me a bit of hope for the Levante, and hopefully more people will catch on to it. I think the engine is great, and especially with the torque converter. It's carrying a lot of weight. It's 2.2 tons, so it does have to work a bit harder. And I mean, it's the same thing with that Ghibli, that V6. It carried the car quite well. And you've got 500 Newton meters, but it's got a claimed 0 to 100 time of 6 seconds, which is not far off considering all the extra weight that it's carrying. Around the corners, it's fairly dynamic. It's got an adaptive suspension, so you could use it pretty comfortably on and off-road, and it holds itself quite well through the corners considering it's such a heavy car. But dynamically I don't think it's going to be that much faster than something like a Cayenne, especially through the corners. And that's just the whole thing with the Levante. Its competition is just so great that it has to set boundaries that are much further than this car can achieve if it's gonna win the hearts of someone who's already in a Cayenne or even an X5. So if you are interested in getting behind the wheel of the Maserati Levante, I would definitely recommend this engine with it. If you want a bit more power, then there is always the Levante S, but it's definitely a step up from that turbo diesel. Overall, if you are looking for a premium SUV, you are quite spoiled for choice, and quite frankly, I think there are better decisions that you can make than this. But if you want to separate yourself from the crowd and want something that's truly unique, the Levante might be exactly what you're looking for.